Sucky! Sucky!
Is he
Sucky,
asleep
wake
again?
up! He's asleep
Fucking
again!
hell.
Wake up! Sucky!
Is he asleep again?
Sorry to barge in. I've just decided to land the TARDIS in here. It's Bob, by the way, and I've brought Craig and John and Cliff round your house for your renowned open fire, so we can sit not just around the console in the cold TARDIS console room, but sit around Sucky's fire to review this festive special, The Snowmen, with Matt Smith. How'd you fancy that? You look a bit grumpy and like you've just been woken up by...
I didn't want you flipping idiots around my place today.
It's a nice house.
Yeah, well, budge up. Let's get into this review. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely Christmas day. From the lads, we just sat around.
Not shedding more Brussels.
Have you got some vodka by any chance?
Have I got vodka? No, I ain't. Sorry, mate.
Have you got a sherry? Of course you've got a sherry.
No,
You're an old
got no
sleepy
sherry
man.
either. Go on, out.
We've come and landed the TARDIS here, so we'll crack on.
Sucky, why don't you come into the TARDIS with us and we'll review it?
Have you got any food in there?
No,
yeah, we got
Oh,
loads.
in that case, yeah, no problem.
Come on.
Because
Can I do takeaway?
Well, no, because of these sound effects that are currently going on, or will be going on when this podcast edited, we need to sit by your fire, Sucky. So
this is why we usually have editorial meetings before we do this sort of stuff, isn't it?
I don't want to go around switching my fire on. It's just built sky on.
I've already switched it on, Sucky.
The fire is on.
The fire is on.
It. So anyway, welcome to this Christmas episode at Grumpy Sucky's house round his open fire.
Andrew will pay for that fire. Don't worry, Sucky.
It's one of the sound effects, just a car alarm going off outside permanently all the way through.
Welcome to Wolverhampton. Yeah, I hope you're having a lovely Christmas. We decided to do a Christmas special of Around the Console around Sucky's lovely open fire. To review The Snowmen, as I said. A couple of us picked it, didn't we? And it got rolled.
Yes.
This is your festive treat because we all miss a Christmas special, I believe, in Doctor Who. I certainly do. And it was a little treat for me. I've only seen this once before. So it was definitely a treat, and I was very happy to watch it. So just go around Sucky's fireplace. Well, we're not all sat around his fireplace. We're sat on his lovely sofas.
It's really nice, this sofa. It's really posh.
Suede and leather. Very sexy.
Yeah.
I'll let guests sit on my sofa and then all of a sudden
but we're not guests, we're family.
Not sure what those stains
I've
are.
seen my kids. I've kicked them out and then nobody's in here.
Sucky, The Snowmen. Yes. Tell me your thoughts. Your initial very short thoughts.
My initial very short thoughts. Yes, it's a really good romp. Really funny. I enjoyed the dynamic between Doctor and Clara, and the villain. It was a bit of a surprise when it turned out to be GI, Great Intelligence. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Awesome. John.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because it's been a while since I've watched Clara. And it was quite nice to see the origin of that relationship with Matt Smith. And I think presumably Matt Smith's Doctor was coming off the back of why was he in a bad mood at the start? Is that the end of the Tennant era?
Amy and Rory have just died.
Right, yeah.
Angels of Manhattan.
Fair enough.
Kind of died. Yeah,
kind of died.
Yeah,
Stephen Moffat died. Yeah, Stephen Moffat died. Is one of the. But you liked it, John?
I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, it was quite nicely done. It was definitely festive.
Awesome. Cliffy baby. Ships.
Hello. I liked it. Last time I watched this was when it was on the day, and I remember sitting around and looking forward to watching it, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, anyone with Clara in, she's just really good to look at. After watching it a second time, I had to say some of it disappointed me a little bit. But we can go into that later. But all in all, it's a Christmas one, isn't it? So you got to take it with a pinch of salt.
A little bit. Craig?
This was probably my second or third time watching it. I think Cliff just said, the first time I watched this was Christmas Day when it was done. And I remember watching it feeling very underwhelmed, but I always did buy Stephen Moffat's Christmas specials, to be honest, on first watch. When I watched this again for this podcast, I absolutely loved it. But I have just been watching seasons 1 and 2 as such of Peter Capaldi, and I've literally, the last episode, coincidentally not deliberately done before I watched this, was Clara's death. Well, actually when she goes off in the TARDIS with me. So I've just seen her spend 2 seasons with Capaldi and then go. And the next one to do this was her arrival. So I actually really, really, really enjoyed Clara, not for the same reasons that Cliff did, but because I just enjoyed seeing her start and finish, which probably Cliff would as well.
Yeah, I could finish
it was a bit weird because when I went into it, I kind of forgot where it was placed. You know, 'cause this is a Christmas special, you know, so more people tend to watch it. So it needs to be a bit more inclusive.
Yeah.
But I forgot, obviously, the last one was, you know, why is this grumpy old man up? And I love that idea of him being up on these stairs in this cloud, you know, looking down, not helping the world. He's super grumpy.
Looking like Scrooge, isn't he, with his kind of Dickensian hat and all the rest of it.
Yeah, he's lost Amy and Rory. I kind of forgot about that. I kind of forgot he'd only met Clara once, the souffle girl in the Asylum of the Daleks as well.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think he necessarily needed to know all that. Maybe it didn't matter so much. But I did enjoy that, and I enjoyed most of all. I forgot about what they called the Paternoster gang. What
the Paternoster gang.
Yeah.
Is it Paternoster?
Paternoster gang. Yeah, I think they're fantastic.
Paternoster. It's Paternoster.
It's Paternoster. It's like
Paternoster
gang.
Yeah,
well, I love them.
Italian, isn't it?
I think they're great. They could have a spin-off. Really.
Really they probably have a big finish, haven't they? If
They've
not,
got one.
They've had a finish. Yeah, they've had a spin-off.
Not the sort of big finish you'll think about with Clara, though, Sheps.
Oh shit!
No.
Oh wow! But I adore them. I think Strax, Dan Starkey's Strax is just hilarious.
Yes, Strax was literally the highlight of the thing, though. To be honest, his lines were great.
Yeah.
He was so funny. It was great.
That bit with the memory worm, I just find hilarious every time.
So simple yet so funny.
Yeah.
The thing I had to, what a little bit grates me was that they had a real good opportunity to utilize those scary snowmen, and then after the beginning, they just didn't, and they were more scary than that glass woman.
The glass woman didn't do it. Yeah, the snowmen were the menace with the fangs and everything.
Not written very well, that bit.
And that's what I didn't like when I first watched it. It left me underwhelmed because it didn't seem... There was a threat, obviously, but it didn't seem to be as well done as it could have been.
Well, to be honest, the whole idea of the memory snow and all that stuff seems a bit shit at the start when you're kind of thinking about the idea. But as soon as it kind of gets into the story and they explain it in a decent way, and bearing in mind that this is a Christmas story, so
yeah,
plot is just there to prop up a Christmas tale thing. It's pretty decent on that level. I think they got rid of the snowmen, particularly because that wasn't the main thrust of it.
No,
it was called the Snowmen, but it wasn't really about the snowmen themselves. It was all about
for
me, it's about Clara in many ways. Very much about the development of Clara.
Clara and seeing his connection and getting over Rory as well, which he seemed to get over quite quickly, to be honest.
And this version
snogged Clara up, bastard.
She snogged him.
Yeah, I never liked
she
that.
Wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
of course, Craig wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I get.
I just didn't get that myself. I mean, she just suddenly jumped on him, and I just didn't understand why she did. But this version of Clara is the Clara that I've enjoyed the most. In that, I quite like the souffle girl. She was okay, but she was mainly interacting with herself inside that Dalek. And then the later version of Clara, the one that was shown right at the end, you had her. She was a bit bland. I just didn't like her. This one was bubbly, feisty, really likable, inquisitive, and just wanted to do things.
Well, I particularly loved the split role as well. You know, she was a governess and a bar wench, for want of a better word. You know, and the landlord
she did the accent really good as well.
She did.
She was brilliant.
And they intermingled it nice when the kids are like, "Do your secret voice."
Oh, the kids were crap acting.
Yeah, but it was nice to put in there. It kind of legitimized. But she does that, doesn't she, as well? In when she comes back, because she's still looking after the kids. Then in modern times, isn't she?
The thing is, though, that I don't understand why. I don't understand why they weren't happy to have her as a companion, as a period companion. In fact, she's from 19th century. Right?
Well, she had to die, didn't she? Because that's
Stephen Moffat. Is crazy.
But as Craig said, she was more feisty and bubbly.
Oh yeah.
You put her in a modern setting, and she's not.
She's a bit bland.
And that's the one you've got.
Well, the complex plot of Clara is just it's just Moffat doing his complex, for me, awesomeness. I get what you're saying, and you know what, and I agree. But the Clara, the Clara companion, was made to be bonkers, the Impossible Girl, and
Yeah.
it really was a bonkers arc. You know, and she was in it for a long time as well. You know, she
Too
did
long.
two.
Can we talk about that Impossible Girl thing? Because obviously it gets resolved at the 50th anniversary, doesn't it? When we realise that she saves his life, or the one before it. But I don't understand. She dies. She dies in Souffle Girl. She dies in this. She doesn't seem to die in those little clips we get with all the doctors where she's saving them. So I don't actually understand that.
No.
I mean,
I can't remember enough about, you know, the intricacies of Clara's story, but in this, you know, she's awesome, and I think having a Victorian companion like Clara in this, just as it is.
Well, they did it, didn't they, with
great.
Victoria and things like that? It would have been good to have that. It would have made a difference. But the changer.
The thing is,
sorry. I was going to say the BBC do anything like a vintage Victorian drama like this so well. And people would have been lapping it up in America watching this.
Oh God,
easy. Because it's something that the BBC just
like Dickens,
just do like that, just like that. But go back to the Clara, why they killed her off. They with Victoria and Jamie, because they were old companions from old times. After a story or two, that was it. They sort of forgot everything, and they became like modern day companions.
Yeah,
and they continue. I don't think that would have worked as well with modern day audiences. Modern day audiences would have expected her to still be a Victorian barmaid or governess, and she wouldn't recognise a car or a light switch or whatever, and they should be like going, "What's that, doctor? What's that, doctor?" They'd have to keep putting.
You'd have had a couple of episodes of that, and then she would have been.
Should have been sorted, but I would have thought that would have been fun. That would have added to the mystery about it. They've done it before with bringing people from all over the place.
They've done it before, only with Jamie and Victoria.
Yeah, but they could do it very easy, couldn't they? He just puts her in a room with a TARDIS, shows her a bit of updated material, and she's kind of acclimatized. It's very easy to get around.
Katrina was brought in and then killed off straight away.
It was one episode, wasn't it? Yeah. But I think Clara would have been so much better like this, and I think she would have just added that oomph that was needed. Because she was so feisty, wasn't she? Arguing with him and being cheeky.
She was.
Also, her bosoms were massive in that outfit.
They were.
They were really big.
Yeah. Thanks for noticing, Craig.
Well, there was that shot. There was that shot in the carriage where she was going to get changed. It just literally went to a rack.
I know. I was looking for the extended edition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that was not where you were looking in the right place for that extension.
By the way, that was Iraq, not Iraq. By the way, just for anyone that maybe couldn't understand my Yorkshire accent, it didn't just suddenly go to a shot of Iraq.
Yeah,
that would be weird. And Matt Smith, fucking hell, he's my favorite Doctor. I just love him. I love him. I miss him. You know, if he was coming back in Moffat, I'd be very excited.
No, not Moffat.
He's not. But anyway, he's just superb. He's even when he's down, or appearing to be down, he's still just. He's
a fantastic actor, Matt Smith.
Oh, he's amazing.
There's things what he's done afterwards is phenomenal as well, and you can see that. Then when they do a change of someone else, you really think, "Oh God, he's missing something great there." Well, but he had to go. It was his time.
Just him and Strax together were amazing, but the Sherlock Holmes bit. We've not mentioned Richard E. Grant, by the way. One of the
or Ian McKellen.
Yeah. Two of the finest English actors ever lived.
The cast is just great in this.
The Sherlock Holmes bit is just so funny when he comes in all full on and all trying to be, and he's just a shit Sherlock Holmes. It reminded me of the Phoenix Nights, where you got the guy that's the clairvoyant.
Oh yes.
I'm getting the word. Nonce or whatever. It was kind of like a really shit Sherlock Holmes. I just loved it. It was so funny. It was so Christmassy. It made me so happy to watch this.
You see, I totally agree. But at the time when this was done, I really hated that scene because if you remember, it was when Stephen Moffat was actually doing Sherlock, and it was this. Will they do a spin-off? Will they do a joint? And I remember thinking, this is, to me, that was just Stephen Moffat being self-indulgent and all the rest of it. All these years later, I can separate that now and see the beauty of the scene. But at the time, I really couldn't do that.
I do feel like the BBC is obsessed with bloody Sherlock Holmes and Dickensian London.
Yes.
Like it's as if there's no other things that went on in the 19th century apart from
the North
Sherlock
didn't exist,
Holmes and the
apart from
Strand.
London. This little
Yeah.
bit.
But they're really good at it. It always looks superb.
It does look
even,
Yeah, I mean,
even
that's
in the
because
70s.
they're always doing it. That's
And
like-
what do you
richest
associate-
part of the place? They're never in like some poor beggar's place.
Yeah, but what do you associate a Christmas with? It's usually Victorian setting, Dickensian setting.
Christmas
So
Carol, all
that's-
that kind
yeah.
of thing.
So
No, that's
what-
true.
That's what they went for.
I did like the Madame Vastra, the lady who
Oh,
plays
she's
that. And I
great.
love the connection
Yeah.
with the other girl. We know that
Jenny.
they're a couple, but
Oh,
it worked
when
well.
she-
It was
when-
very
when-
cleverly written. Like it wasn't over the top. I thought it was good.
I know you're about Clara, but when Jenny's in that costume, oh, my
Jenny's
God.
lovely. Jenny is really nice. Yeah.
It's like sprayed on that. It's really good.
Now I'm going to be really.
Welcome to a podcast hosted by dirty old men.
See, this is one of the things about Stephen Moffat for me. Again, I was watching the other day The Husbands of River Song, and Alex Kingston's talk, a bit like you said before about the rat. It was massively up
About
here.
Iraq.
Iraq, and the diamond goes in between a cleavage. And I've spotted this. Yeah, I have noticed how Clara was in these top tight dresses, and it's not like me to notice that, but it's been a running enough theme of women's enhanced cleavage shots in the Moffat era that I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just, and
if it'd be a man's cock or ass.
oh yeah, no, I'm not. I wouldn't complain about that,
See.
and I'm not complaining about it. I just want equality. I want both.
See, you're right there because
This hits ass and cock.
Because the one perky ass from behind, you can't tell if it's a man or a woman these days.
Well,
It can be very confusing.
there was a whole sequence where he's trying to climb up the steps.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
She's there
yeah.
going,
Don't
well,
look
you know, I can stare up your,
Yeah.
while you can't stare
Yeah.
at mine and all this. Thinking, okay, great, whatever. But the other thing is, I mean, right now we're in the middle of a cold snap. It's really freezing at the moment,
Yes.
right? And this girl, right at the beginning, decides to throw a shawl to the ground and do a bit of light running to keep up while it's really cold and it's snow. And I'm thinking, this Victorian London, it's going to be cold. It's going to be
Yes.
freezing. You're going to throw your shawl away just to
You
go
old,
running.
you old miserable bastard, you. Just
Oh,
let her
well,
She
have it.
was trying to tease him.
Yeah.
It's just because we invaded, woken up from sleep invading his house to sit
Have
down
you
in
never
his
dropped
beautifully
your
open
pants
fire.
outside someone's house in case if Smith?
Well, I'm just hoping Cliff doesn't drop his trousers and decide to heat his taters in front of a fire.
Taters.
Yeah, it might not be getting a bit warm actually.
Taters. I appreciate the taters.
What did you think about the effects when you're watching it now?
Taters.
I thought they were good. Well, the Ice Woman didn't convince me at the time,
Ice
to be
Woman,
honest.
I
No.
think it's
Oh, the
probably
actual one
worst,
was pretty terrible CGI. That
Yeah, and it wasn't good. And I didn't like either. Oh, sorry, let's talk about CGI and I'll come back to that. What other CGI was there really?
Well, the snowmen.
Snowmen were great. I love
No,
it.
they were,
Just
they were
look
real,
like,
Bob. They were real.
All right with it.
They look like
So it's-
Rainbow. That's what it did.
Ah, Zippy.
Rainbow,
Zippy with
Bumble.
fangs.
Oh yeah, it looked like a sharp teeth.
That's
White
an
zippy,
evil
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zip-
Oh, there's a bit in it as well, which I didn't think made sense. Clara.
Only a bit.
Well, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of
All
it that
right.
makes sense in it.
Yeah.
There's a bit where she falls off and then she splats, doesn't she, on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yes.
And then you've got the great intelligence guy saying to Matt Smith, bring her out, and she's like, she's behind you. She's just splattered over there, right behind you, near them snowmen. So I don't get that.
I mean, I don't
could you not
remember that
hear it
part.
just go boom? Because I heard it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you didn't see that.
I didn't get the whole kind of how he brings her back actually, because the Doctor doesn't. I know he did it because he's just lost Amy and Rory, but again, it
He
just
doesn't
felt a
rule
little.
that. He doesn't bring them
Yeah,
back.
I was a bit surprised by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but I think at this point when the Doctor's vulnerable in states that
Oh, yeah, that's
lost,
true. He has done a lot of silly.
you know, like
tell
David
you what-
Tennant he's big on it. Eccleston,
Yeah.
when they're really fucked off and they're like, right, well, I can actually do something about this, and I'm gonna,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
time, and this is a time where he's very lonely and vulnerable.
Tell you what I thought was great with Matt Smith. And at first, when I started watching it, I just thought he looked haggard, if I'm honest, but it clearly wasn't. because as he starts off at the doctor and he's isolated and lonely and withdrawn and still suffering, he looks really tired and old, and his suit looks really big on him. And as the story goes on, he gets more himself, and he's got his companion, he's got his mission, it's all going on. His life comes back to him again. His face is animated, he's enigmatic, he's great in it. Everything just seems to look great on him. And I think that must have been really fantastic acting and lighting to actually show the doctor going from the bottom, poor health, to back on full form.
The bit that you're going about when he actually, in my opinion, really comes to life is when he's actually, now she said he's actually put
he's got a bow tie. That's lovely, that scene.
Bow ties are cool, and he's misunderstanding what Clara said, but he's still thinking bow ties are cool, and I'm thinking that's where he knows that he's getting.
And I hadn't actually spotted that he hadn't got, but I'm assuming he didn't have a bow tie on before that point. I didn't rewatch it twice, but that was a lovely moment because it was like, oh, he's got his bow tie on. And the use of the word pond as the one word was very clever.
That I thought was very clever because I didn't realise the context of this episode.
Yeah.
But when she said pond, it was like, oh fuck, that's a good reference. That would work.
Yeah.
That would work with Matt Smith's Doctor.
And what do you think about, like you just said that at the beginning he was haggard. What's the time period between Amy's going and then this one? And I'm thinking you've got an opportunity there for something similar to like Time Lord Victorious, that he goes on another eventful travel, because his clothes and what he's wearing doesn't compare to what he wore when he was with Amy. So he has been, could have been years, could have been many years. And
does he give a time period? I think he does.
Say to it.
I can't remember.
I think the last time we saw the Paternoster gang, I don't think Jenny and Lady Vastra were married. Right, but then in this one they are married, so it must have been some sort of time period that's happened.
Got an opportunity there for big finish. You heard it there first.
Yeah, I love that scene with Lady Vastra and Jenny when someone lifts the doctor lifts the veil and goes, no one would believe that he based his work on and it obviously should be a lizard, but it's like on a woman, and I thought that was a really great line.
Well, I was thinking, is that some sort of reality filter going on there? Or was that just
it's just
comic
funny.
timing and
just comedy. But I like there's a lot of funny moments in this.
It's really
because I've just recently watched the Abominable Snowmen.
There we go.
You loved it, didn't you, Bob?
Every episode of Around the Console, Bob has to mention this episode and failed to say it.
But
can I just say, Bob made
in as well, isn't it?
Yeah. But
it made me buy it, and I've not watched it yet.
Don't bother, Craig. It's very long and boring, which is why we didn't review it as well as people not having it. But it's a godsend why we did not review it, because it is long and boring. But when the snow and the snow sound, the whooshy wind snow sound, I'm pretty sure that's taken from this episode. And also just to harken back as well with the tin. The underground tin.
1960s tin.
That's brilliant. I like that reference.
And obviously, because you're great intelligence, so it's harking back to the two Yeti stories and the great intelligence which is to come. And I quite like that. The great intelligence as a entity, whatever, is very I want to say complicated, but maybe not that well explained. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
I don't know what it is at all.
Yeah, and
we never really find out.
No.
You have a few more episodes with him, don't they?
Well, it obviously comes back. It's almost like the overarching baddie of the series, which I almost always forget about, because it obviously comes back in the name of the Doctor.
Yeah.
With a whisper as
yes,
well.
it does, but it
didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. No, I agree.
It doesn't make any sense really in the Abominable Snowmen or the Web of Fear. It doesn't. It's kind of like I don't know what it is. I know it's an alien entity, whatever. But I don't know what it's
in the Bells of St. John as well, isn't it? It's the very next story.
Yeah,
has it in as well.
I love the idea. I just don't really get it, and I'd quite like to maybe get it a little bit. I'm all for mystery. And
I always kind of see it as a bit like the Nestine consciousness, the actual consciousness itself, and it's kind of like trying to control.
The telepathic snow idea and all that kind of stuff, trying to humanize ice. It's all a bit like whatever, but it is what it is. I understand that bit, but I just don't get the great intelligence. And I want to. I think it's cool.
I think that there's an opportunity for them to explore that more.
Big finish.
They could have done.
Big finish.
Like I said before, I even forgot the great intelligence. I didn't twig great intelligence, but it was like right away till then. It just, I think they were underwhelmed, and they weren't a big enough threat throughout the series. Really, there wasn't enough emphasis on it, considering that, like I said, it's in about three of this series. It's a bit.
It was flirted with, and
yes,
a little
that's
nod, a little nod for classic fans, probably more than anything else. Like, that's fine.
Sometimes Moffat did write himself into the corner.
What is it a nod to?
So the Great Intelligence has been in the classic series with the Yeti twice before.
I've never seen those.
You've dodged a bullet
one would
there,
have been
John.
the Abominable Snowman.
Web of Fear, was it?
I thought you never seen the Web of Fears. I thought you had, John, when they're in the London Underground a long time ago. We have reviewed.
I have to ask Suki about these things.
I don't think you haven't.
Web of Fear.
I can't be bothered to explain it to you, John.
No, that's fine.
I'm
not that interested. It's fine.
One thing I thought was, when Clara passes and the kids start crying and everyone starts crying, then it bloody starts raining. I thought, that didn't bode well with me, that bit. That's a bit over sentimental.
That's the Christmas Day crap.
The whole there was, I can't remember the premise that it was there, but when everybody is united in mourning for Clara, so in some way that has some magical effect on something, and that's just bullshit, Christmas bullshit, and I don't like that.
No, it's like Scrooge waking up in the morning going, "Oh, I've got another chance to make it."
Well, no.
It's Anyway, let's get around Suki's fireplace for any final thoughts. I'll come to you first, Shep.
Final thoughts is it's a cracker to watch. It's typical Doctor Who, fairy tale in Victorian times, done well, worth a watch. And two words is chest galore.
Chest galore. Wow. Amazing. Nice one, Cliff. Craig, your final thoughts, if you have any.
I do. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. I deliberately, when we were choosing last time, I was one of the ones that chose it. And I chose it because I couldn't remember much about it, but knew my first viewing wasn't great. And I really am glad we came back to it, because I'm seeing it in a totally different way. I loved it. It was just fun. It was a fun Christmas story with the introduction of Clara. My two words, Christmas chilblains.
Chilblains. Is that two words or one?
No, it's one word, chilblains.
Hyphenated, yeah.
Sorry, mate.
How come you get away with this shit? I can't.
I used to teach English. Don't criticise me.
He knows his shit, does Craig.
Yes. Sometimes it's runny and sometimes it's solid. I'll send you
Oh, my God.
More butt stuff. Gotta love a bit of extra butt stuff.
Wow. John.
Yeah, it was a fairly run-of-the-mill Christmas story. I did like seeing Clara's origins.
Oh yes.
Second origins.
Yeah, a nice pair of origins.
But
no, it was. I think it was just of the Christmas episodes. It was one of the better ones, definitely, and I would recommend. My two words would be snow joke.
Oh,
that's a good
no joke.
I like it, John. I like it. I think for me, just to mention Richard E. Grant a bit more, because I don't.
No, we've not actually mentioned him.
Proper scrooged it up, didn't he?
When he comes back.
Where was Ian McKellen in it?
He was the voice.
The
voice.
Great
Intelligence, which was a great voice, by the way. But I think Richard E. Grant's character was cool. He'd set up this whole empire from a child speaking to a snowman. It reminded me a bit of Davros when the Capaldi thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the fact he's sort of like they've become amalgamated, really. They try to separate. That's a Doctor's thing. If he separates them, he'll win, and he doesn't. And you sort of see Richard E. Grant as a broken little boy in man form. I think that's quite an emotional thing.
I did still want to see Richard E. Grant pull out some lighter fluid and rub it on himself.
Yeah, I want to see drive a
with
Jackie
Neil and I, Craig.
Oh right, sorry, I didn't get. I've never seen it.
Oh,
drive a Jackie with drunk and then get a fairy liquid bottle of child's urine out and pee. My favourite film with Neil and I. So it was always it was great to see him. I'd love to see like him being a villain and Paul McGann being the Doctor.
I love him
That
to
would
come
be
in and be the
amazing.
Doctor once. It'd be brilliant.
Well, he did the Scream of the Shouker, didn't he? Do you remember when he did that?
He
It
did,
was
yeah,
really
he
good.
was
I
Doctor
didn't
Who.
like his character, but the way he was animated, but he was good at it. Yeah.
But I thought that was a really cool,
Yes,
really
great
cool,
story.
cool thing as well. I just think,
There we
Scream
go.
of the Sharker.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you.
your DVDs
Yeah.
out for the lads.
Sucky's got his DVD out for us.
Maybe
audio,
we should
for you
review that
audio
next.
listeners.
I might use that as my example.
Is that
Is that
Don't.
canon or not? Are we allowed to talk? Is that allowed to be a proposed story?
It could be
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
Doctor Who related, Craig. That's been on the television, which that has.
Yeah.
So yeah, my
hasn't.
But it was on BBC Three, wasn't it? Or you could download
on
it.
the
So it's
web.
been-
It hasn't
never-
been on any of the channels. It's just
Was
been
it
on
not?
the. It's just
on
been
the
on
web.
the web. Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
on the web.
My two words are Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, Merry
That's
Christmas.
3 words.
You got done this time.
I retract. it. Merry Christmas. Sucky, your final thoughts, 2 words, please, my friend.
My 2 words are lovely, Clara. And yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, it's an enjoyable romp. It's really good, cracking story, great characters, funny in places. There's a lot of plot holes, but
It doesn't
once
matter.
you're watching this at Christmas or any other time of the year, and you just let it wash over you, and you just enjoy the performances.
Yeah.
So when are you guys getting out of my living room?
Well,
I want some lunch. I'm starving.
before we steal from Sucky's fridge, I'm going to ask you all for the story that we're going to be reviewing next year.
Yeah.
Next year, I'll come to you first because it's your house, Sucky. You.
There's all sorts of talk of spin-offs going on.
Mm.
And I want to review the very first Sarah Jane story.
Cool.
As in the Invasion of the Bane or the first
Invasion of the Bane.
That's not a Doctor Who story.
Yeah, it's
You
Doctor
said
it's
anything in the Doctor
Yeah.
Who universe, did you
No, I
not?
said
Just
Doctor. No, I said
literally-
Doctor Who on TV. I'm not fucking watching Sarah Jane Adventures. I'm not 4.
Excuse me, I've got the box set
Have
through
you,
there.
have you never seen Sarah Jane Adventures?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
in
I
for a
have.
treat.
I don't fucking care. I want to watch Doctor Who and talk about the next. Don't watch
Hey,
kids'
hey,
TV.
Bob.
Okay, then.
Bob.
Okay. No.
No,
Let him have it. Look at him. Look at his face.
We'll
Look at
have
look.
Christmas Day, and we're in his
We'll
house, and you're
have-
saying no.
We'll have that David Tennant story that Sarah Jane Adventure.
Reunion.
Sarah Jane. Yeah, but I can't remember what it's
School
called.
reunion.
I'll find out.
No, it's is it some like Death of the Doctor?
Wedding of the Doctor. Wedding of Sarah Jane. The
Wedding of Sarah Jane.
Wedding of Sarah Jane.
Is that still not a Doctor Who adventure?
No, it's a Sarah Jane adventure. The Doctor is in it.
Yeah, it comes in, doesn't it?
I don't know. Like Sucky, I think we've got to pick Doctor Who.
It is Doctor Who.
It is Doctor Who. The Doctor is in it.
Is it
Therefore,
called?
It's still
is it
canon
called
as
Doctor
well
Who?
because it links.
Is it called
as well.
Doctor Who and something else? No, it's called Sarah Jane Adventures. I'm going to come back to you, you fucking knob. You can't pick. You can't pick.
Right, everybody pick the Wedding of Sarah Jane. Okay, and then go back to Bob.
Right, fucking hell, John.
Oh, leave me till the end. I'm not picking shit until I've heard the options.
Craig.
I really fancy the Wedding of Sarah Jane.
Do you, Craig?
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
actually, yeah.
I don't think this is legal.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not-
I've been thinking
It's
about
never-
it quite a lot
that's
recently,
ne-
actually.
That's never stopped Craig before, Bob.
Yeah, I remember being 20 when the law was 21.
You know, as a socialist, I'm not into dictatorship, but I'm not happy about this.
Having a revolution on Christmas Day.
Cliff, what would you like to pick?
Well, I wanted to pick.
You say the wedding of fucking whatever, I'll drive down Salford and knock you out. You
You're right next to him, just whack him.
I was going to go for City of Death.
All right, yeah. That's a
Top
Doctor
No.
Who adventure. Doctor
We've
Who.
seen that so
Wedding
many
of Sarah
times.
Jane.
I like it.
Oh, come on. I was going with Dalek Invasion of Earth, but I've suddenly got a real urge for the Wedding of Sarah Jane.
Right, Dalek Invasion of Earth is what you
No,
want.
no, Wedding of Sarah
It is
Jane.
your bird,
right.
yeah.
It's got John
Easy,
Cleese in
No,
it.
Cliff said City of Death. So City of Death.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
You can pick what he wants. It's a socialist
Yeah, that's what he said.
podcast.
City of Death.
John, what story would you like to pick?
What are you picking, Bob?
Wedding of Sarah Jane, if you love Sucky.
Well, I was gonna pick
I've
the
had a
wedding.
terrible few days.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah, he has actually.
I was gonna
Sarah
pick.
Should pick
Rack.
what Tucky was.
I was gonna pick the Web of Fear, just because. But I think we've had enough of great intelligence, so I'm gonna go for the Romans. William Hartnell 4-parter.
Is that on the season 2 box set?
It is, yeah. Fancy it. Fancy
How
the
far,
Romans.
how far through is it?
halfway. So
I can probably do that.
I was going to go with Dalek Invasion of Earth, but I've seen it loads of times.
Is that the new box
six.
set? Okay.
Yeah, it came out last
it's
week.
lovely.
Yeah.
I've not got mine yet, by the way.
Yeah, mine's. Have you not?
Nope.
It's funny how the postman gets his first before anyone else, isn't it?
I've got mine. It's just over there.
So I'm going to go. I'm going to go
It's
with
got yours, Bob.
I'm going to go with the Romans. We'll leave
Right.
that though.
I'm going to go City of Death.
Oh, really? And we reviewed that like a million times.
No, we
Right.
haven't.
Haven't.
It's so boring.
So
the
we
City of Death.
Even more, I want to do City of Death.
City
Actually,
of
no,
Death,
before I
isn't that,
do,
isn't that the one in Paris?
how many
Yeah.
episodes are in it?
Four.
8.
Right,
Four.
that's-
8
that's
episodes.
City of Death.
It's
No,
8
it's
episodes.
4.
No, it's
8
not. It's
episodes.
definitely 8
Right.
episodes. 8 episodes.
Craig,
It's black and
I'm
white.
telling 8 episodes.
8
And
episodes.
the last one got 16.1 million views. That's how good it is.
Yeah, only because ITV are on strike.
Yeah.
That is very true, Craig, as well.
John Cleese is in it.
And that's a reason not to
And
watch it.
it's written by Douglas.
We
Douglas Adams
watched
as well.
it like 2 years ago, John. You've
Well,
seen it.
have I?
Yeah, I swear
Yeah.
to God, we
Yeah, we
reviewed
did it, yeah.
Is
Yes,
it
you
in
did.
Paris?
You did do it, yeah.
He might have
Oh,
done
in
it.
that case,
You might have done
fuck
it on
that.
that other one, that less important one.
No, it was on this one. Oh, maybe
Well,
I thought it was on this one.
well, in that case, I'm going to pick.
Wedding of Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane.
I'm going to pick Castrovalva.
Oh, yeah, nice
Oh,
one, John.
good choice.
That's
What a
cool.
choice straight out of nowhere.
That's awesome, John.
Actually, that's better than
I'm
mine.
actually impressed by the fact you could come up with that on the top of your head.
So
I
we've
was
got-
trying to think of it for ages. I picked it ages ago and it never got.
So we've
John
got
can always pull it off when he needs to.
I loves to pull it off, this John.
He does
We've got,
indeed.
we've
I
got
didn't
Craig
look
with a
a nice
Dalek
bit of
Invasion.
Castrovalva.
I'm on Wedding to say I'm on Wedding to Sarah Jane.
So Craig's Dalek Invasion of Earth. Cliff is City of Death. John is Castrovalva. Bob is the Romans. Suki, what are you picking? Sorry. There's a
Wedding of
Doctor Who-
Sarah Jane.
It's a Doctor Who adventure.
Wedding of Sarah Jane.
Just let him have it, Bob. Let him have it.
Let him have it. Let it just go.
There's a
Let-
1 in 6 chance that he gets it. Don't worry.
Right, it's 3. It's me.
The Romans.
Yeah.
Oh, the pressure.
Black and white story.
Oh, fuck.
4 episodes. William
I like
Hartnell.
the Romans, though, to be fair. It is. It's, well, I thought I could remember it.
Don't
It's
wrong
all
with
right,
being black
it's all
and
right.
white, Sucky. You remember
Oh.
black and white really well.
Right, but in all seriousness, Suki, you can't
Yeah.
just pick random stories that are not Doctor Who.
I think we should discuss that
Why
off
can't
the
you-
air.
I think we should do the first episode of Torchwood.
Well,
Oh,
you can't.
yeah.
If you
See,
can't, you
that's
said
right.
no.
That
if you
was the
don't
other
deserve
thing because
Jane-
there's a bit of controversy today.
Yes,
and
that's
something's
what I
happened
read.
today. Right.
What
and I
happened
thought,
today?
no, I don't want to go too dark. Just wanted to fix something.
I think
Like-
hasn't he upset someone?
Who? John Barrowman?
Hasn't he said something bad about somebody?
yeah.
He's probably.
I,
Well,
I,
I've
don't-
not
I don't know
seen
what
that.
he said, but I know that people are slagging him off on Twitter.
it's Christmas, so let's not darken anyone's door with knob showing John Barrowman.
But you've darkened my doorway by turning up here unannounced.
Well, anyway,
And then he
Suki did.
insults you, something.
I didn't want to point this out initially when we stormed into your house and you were asleep, but that rug in front of the fire looks like it might be made of asbestos, and that fire is flickering, and I can't help but notice that asbestos rug with your asbestos walls
And your
doused
asbestos
in
beard.
petrol for some reason are on fire, and your whole house is setting aflame. I mean, I'm not being funny, lads, but when I say run into the TARDIS.
Can we run by the
out of
mistletoe
here.
for a quick snog?
Go on then. On your way, Craig. Smoochy, smoochy. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas! Let's get in there quick.
Bye.
Run.
Bye.
Bye.
Burnt my house down. It's,